All right, now let's wrap this up. Let's get to the Lions and the Buccaneers. Honestly, I don't even want to do this. Game finally officially ended. They finally ended the coverage. It's 10:40 a.m. and the NFL coverage has officially ended on ESPN. Now we're watching the ESPN night test team that no one cares about. Lions versus Buccaneers. Lions 24, Buccaneers 9. The Buccaneers defense was really good in this game. They kept the Buccaneers in the game towards the end, but ultimately the Buccaneers couldn't put a drive together to score a touchdown to save their lives. And Baker Mayfield was not very good. He was missing throws everywhere. He was overthrowing receivers. When I thought they were finally going to get a break, perfectly thrown ball to Mike Evans, he caught it, but it didn't complete the process of a catch because he ended up something with his shoulder. I don't even know what the official injury is. It ended up being something with his shoulder, and he ended up having to drop the ball because of the injury. So that was terrible break and a big break for the Lions because I really thought the Buccaneers finally put something together there, but it didn't end up happening. The Lions started off hot. They started off hot. First series of the game, they scored in like 5 minutes. They gave them all Gibbs, Monroe St. Brown, easy touchdown. But after that, and then you thought they're going to dominate this game to the offense because the Buccaneers went 3 and out. And then I believe they fumbled. The Lions got sacked and fumbled. Diaby recovered it, and they punt the ball. And then the Lions got it again. They easily drive down the field, but Dan Campbell goes for a turnover on downs. So you could see the signs of the offense of the Lions dominating this game, but ultimately the defense was able to stop them with the Lions' decision making, still able to stop them. And that was the story of the first half. It ended up being 14-0 before the Buccaneers got a field goal right before the half, 14-3 going into half. And the Buccaneers were able to stop the Lions that looked like they were unstoppable. But no matter what, the Lions still controlled the game because the Buccaneers could not put together an offensive drive to save their lives. They couldn't. Buka had some wide open opportunities that Baker Mayfield couldn't hit him on. There was one right in the end zone. He underthrew it. There was one where he overthrew it. It was just a bad day for Baker Mayfield. He had 228 yards, but he dropped back. He passed the ball 50 times. He had 50 passing attempts. And half of them were on one drive where he was just completely dinking and dunking down the field to Kate Otten. It was not a good game. It started off 14-0, so they really couldn't get the run game going. They're missing Bucky Irving, Snow, Rashad White only had 38 yards carrying. It was a pretty bad game. Tez Johnson, though, he had the only touchdown of the game. Pretty good touchdown. Tez Johnson looks like he's like a J-Mo kind of receiver, deep play receiver. You'll see him go for at least one big play game now. He came along with the injuries last week to Evans and Igbuka. But Igbuka came back with injury, played pretty good. Mike Evans came back from injury, got injured, unfortunately. But honestly, this game was not very impressive by the Lions. Gibbs he broke records today. I think he had his highest career. How do you put this? His highest game with all the yards added up, both receiving and rushing. He had. Let me do the quick math. You think I can do the quick math? It was 118 yards combined with 2 touchdowns. Complete. The game plan from the Lions early was to get the ball to the 2 best playmakers, their 2 best, all around talented dudes, Amon-Ra St. Brown and Jahmyr Gibbs. That's what they established early. Got the ball to Gibbs, he had an explosive play. Then they got the ball to Amon-Ra, scored a touchdown. And then they kept it going with the run game, 136 yards. Kept it going, swinging it out to Gibbs he only had 3 receptions, 82 yards. 17 carries, 136 yards. There was not really much from Montgomery. He came in, 13 carries, 21 yards. It was all about Gibbs and Amon-Ra. Both led their team in rushing and receiving. Laporta had 15 yards. J-Mo had 0 yards. It was all about Amon-Ra and Jahmyr Gibbs controlling the game. Their 2 best and most talented players. Other than that, that was it. This game was not very impressive. It wasn't as bad as the damn Texans-Seahawks game, which I wish I could erase from my memory as soon as possible. But the Lions are still undefeated at home. They've revenged their win. They haven't had back-to-back losses in who knows how long by now. And the Buccaneers and Baker Mayfield played a good defensive game. Baker Mayfield and the offense for the Buccaneers played an absolute shit of a game. But Baker Mayfield still right there in the MVP running. Patrick Mahomes is definitely leading now. But this doesn't change the fact that Baker Mayfield is still impressive and still one of the better quarterbacks, if not a top 5 quarterback in the league currently this season. So I don't want to hear the talk that Baker Mayfield isn't that good, or did we overreact on the Baker Mayfield start because he had all these one possession games and he could have got lucky. Blah, blah. No. Baker Mayfield still really good. He's gonna come back next week. Who do they play? He's gonna come back next week. He's gonna hit these throws that he needs. He might be missing Mike Evans. He plays the Saints. That's a get right game. That's a get right game. He's gonna come back next week and do what he has to do. Other than that, these games absolutely sucked. Terrible Monday Night Football slate. Even though the Buccaneers Lions game was supposed to be good, Seahawks Texans terrible, terrible, it's terrible. Don't not watch a Texans game for the rest of the season after that. Might even not watch a Seahawks game for the rest of the season after that. But other than that, we're finally off of this thing at 1:50 a.m. The ESPN stopped talking about the game. I don't know. 1:50 a.m. Finally off this thing. Get me to sleep, please. Jesus.